Hello, everybody. So today I'm going to introduce you to a little spitfire of a gal. I love her. Her name is Christine, and she has a real fun success story here. So I'm going to bring her on. Hi, Christine. How are you, girl?
I'm doing great. I'm doing great.
Yes. Do you like how I introduced you as a little spitfire?
I do. I haven't been described that way before.
You don't think you are? I think you're a little spitfire. You have such an outgoing, fun, like disciplined personality. So that's why I thought
Oh,
you're a little
thank you.
spitfire. It was a compliment.
Yeah.
So anyway, welcome. I'm so glad you're sharing your story. So tell the world and tell us what was the reason why you wanted to improve your health? What was going on before you decided to make the change?
Um, that's a good question. What was going on before? I was making a lot of improvements over my entire life. So, investing in myself for my career, and kind of becoming more self-aware of some of my own emotions and things like that. But I hadn't done anything to tackle my weight issue and my and like what I was eating and not feeling good in my own body. So this was kind of my last piece to the puzzle and that's why I decided. Oh, and I also had a friend that said, "Hey, I have something that
Yeah.
works." And without asking any questions, I just said, "Great, let's go."
Yeah. So your main reason is you were wanting weight loss,
Mhm.
and you said you had a confidence. And I hear something about confidence, or what was it? Like a
I did.
confidence?
I didn't feel good in my own body. I
Yeah.
did have soreness, achiness. Clothes didn't fit right. Um, it was a lot of things, and actually, I became more aware of them as I went through the program.
Yeah, and how long had you tried other programs to try to, lose weight and decrease your inflammation? Have you tried other things?
I absolutely have. I pretty much have tried. I think I've tried every program that's out there, right? So,
Yeah.
I've done the ones where they provide the meals. I've done the ones, that are popular, only eating proteins and fats, things like
Yeah.
that,
Yeah.
trying to get to a place. And it's just none of them were very sustainable. And most of them I didn't feel that great on.
Yeah. Well, and one of the things that you mentioned too in your questionnaire here, the one I always ask you guys a little bit of something before so I can prepare for these, but you said in your questionnaire that you had learned that we in the academy, I had debunked all of the diet myths that I grew up to become a believer of. Can you explain that? Like, what are some of the diet myths that you've been told, were the truth up until this point, until
Right.
you learned the facts, right?
Oh yes. Like there's so many of them.
Yeah.
Like like gosh, you have to eat multiple times a day
Yeah.
to fuel your metabolism. Otherwise, your metabolism dips and then you gain weight
Yeah.
because your metabolism is so slow. That was debunked for me. A lot of like feeling of like a failure after a lot of past attempts. Like, okay, maybe I'm just supposed to be this. This is
Ah.
supposed to be me, right?
Isn't that just sad? I was just talking to, the interview before you, I talked to Judy, and Judy was the same way. She's like, my doctors and people are always telling me that, just as you get older, that's just how we're supposed to feel. Or if
Right.
you've had a baby, you're supposed to have, you're not going to get the weight off as easy. Or,
Oh yeah.
you have to, like you said, you have to eat so many times per day to, lose weight or keep your metabolism high. Or, oh, don't you dare fast. Fasting is like the worst thing for you. All these unscientific statements that
Yeah.
are being pushed into all your brains, and nobody's correcting it,
Yes.
right?
That was a big power thing for me. Just
Yeah.
kind of that gave me the confidence back was really learning the effects on nutrition on the body and then how
Yeah.
you feel and how that helps you continue going forward
Right.
instead of depriving yourself to the point and just like getting crazy and always thinking about food. Like food occupies your mind 80% of the time instead
Yeah.
of other things.
Yeah, I mean, and that's a key thing we talk about, and nobody talks about this in the diet arena.
Right.
Our program isn't a diet. It is a lifestyle change. It is fixing the relationship with food because we've been taught, as you said, we've been taught or we've been told, and with the media and the marketers have been told that moderation is okay, and you can have this in moderation, and you need to eat all this stuff. You can have as many meals as you want per day as long as you're eating the right things. And it's like, it's just so much untruths out there, and
Right.
we're not supposed to have this. Well, people do. They have this relationship with food, and women especially, and we all know this, but women have this relationship with food where they use it as a comfort and a stress, right? Stress relief, right?
Mhm.
And so we really work hard, and you can maybe, talk about this a little bit without getting into too much detail, because a lot of
Mhm.
times women don't even know they have an issue with that part of their lives. But it's that over desire for food that is such a crutch for women, and that's why they can't stick with a program long term.
Yes.
That's the root of it. I can
Hmm.
tell you to eat, I can tell you what to do all day long, and diets work. You go on a
Hmm.
diet and they work. But what makes a protocol, a lifestyle sustainable is you have to fix that mentality relationship with food, right?
Right, right. And and I mean that reminds me of another diet myth that was debunked for me. It was like the thin, I would say like thin people, like naturally thin people, right? They tend to say, just stop eating. Just stop eating altogether. Like it was like you don't need to eat anything, right? And that's not right either.
Right.
So, I think eating the right things, supplying your body with what it needs, your body learns and it doesn't demand as
Yeah,
much.
it's finding out where a woman is struggling. It's
Yeah.
finding out like what part of the, if it's diabetes or being overweight or diet, whatever, finding out where you're struggling, and then figuring out how to have a plan and a process in place to be able to figure that part out. And that's what we do, right? and
Hmm.
and you are a perfect example of being able to figure that out. I mean, I want to show the world your results, and this is just in 3 months of you doing this work. These
Hmm.
results that you've gotten are in 3 months, and it is unbelievable. 32.75 pounds, 32.5 inches, and you're down 4 sizes in 3 months.
Yeah.
And this is fact. This is not like this is the truth, right? And I love what you said in your one of your statements. You said cravings. What are those? Food doesn't occupy my mind as much anymore. Tell me about that. What did you when you wrote that, what was the meaning behind it?
Well, it's I joke, but I think that every joke has a little bit of truth, right? Or a lot. This one has a lot of truth in it. I before it was I would get upset, I need to eat. I would be bored, I need to eat. I'm not losing weight and I'm upset about it. I'm gonna eat. You know? So so and it was just like, when's the next meal coming? Even being on another diet, right? Being on a diet, you're depriving yourself of the nutrients you need. So you are hungry, and that's why these things fail, right? So when I'm on those types of things, the ones in the past that didn't work, I was always thinking, when is the next meal? When do I get to eat again?
Yes.
I am starving right now, and this is, I'm trying to have a conversation with somebody else and I'm thinking about my next meal.
Yeah.
So I'm
Girl,
not
it's
present.
exhausting. I
Yes.
know it's exhausting. That part is exhausting. And that's the reason why women fail at programs.
Hmm.
And that's the reason why, just exactly perfectly like you said, is because when your body is always craving foods, that's a
Hmm.
hormone imbalance. When you have an over desire for food, that's a mindset thing, that's an emotional eating thing. And if you don't fix those two things, those two elements, the over desire and the over hunger, the
Right.
hormones and the mindset, you will never be able to stick with anything. And it's like you just said, I share this in the academy all the time, where it's like thinking about food all the time is exhausting. Like, what am I going to eat? I should exercise when I eat this meal. So I over exercise. I better not have this. I better have this. Oh, I don't, it's like exhausting. And when you can just, like you said perfectly, when you can just be like, eat when you're hungry. You don't have the cravings. You don't have that over desire where you just have to have food, where your body is actually in balance. That's the
Mhm.
key. That's the key to the entire program. That's what you did. You got your body in balance. When your body is in balance, what happens?
Yeah.
Your cravings go away. You eat, it fixes the problem of why women have this issue with their weight,
Right. Right. Right.
right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And
And when
that's
you
not what
experience it
diet,
for
that's not what
yourself.
a lot of diet program, and
Yeah.
that's not what diet programs focus on.
Mhm.
They don't focus on that, you know, but we do it differently.
Yeah.
And
Mhm.
when we do it differently, this is the kind of results that people get. Women like you
Mhm.
who are disciplined. I mean, you're smart and you're disciplined. And I get that question too. It's like, I'm a very smart woman. Why can't I lose weight? It's not because of
Right.
your intelligence. It's not because you don't have discipline. It's because your hormones are out of whack and you have to fix the over desire.
Right.
This
Yeah.
is amazing, girl. When you look at this, aren't you just like so proud?
Yes. It's amazing. It's amazing to come this far and not have a worry of it gate coming back
Talk
or an
talk about
expectation of
that.
it.
Why are you confident about that?
Because I feel like I've been given the information and the tools um to understand why and how I got to where I am and what I can do differently in the future to prevent it from ever happening again. So
Right.
it's a very empowering place to be.
Yeah.
Um, you know, and to speak what you were saying too before is I worked for a weight loss company for 10 years. They don't have a maintenance program. They don't have a piece for keeping the weight off. They don't have, never have I ever, I worked for a company. Never have I ever felt confident in being able to keep weight off that I've lost. Never have I have confidence that I can continue to lose weight until I get to to my goal weight.
Right.
So it's a very empowering place to be to have that information, to have those tools. I feel like I found the secret. I can lose weight like a man.
Well, just like you said, diets work,
Yeah,
but who wants to be on a diet their whole life?
right.
I mean, that's the thing. Is like you do a diet and then you don't know how to make it a lifestyle. So then you gain it back. Then you do another diet. And this is why I never call the Academy program a diet. It is a lifestyle change. It's a protocol change. And if you don't fix, say it again, if you don't fix the
Mhm.
over desire, which is the emotional component, the relationship with food, and the hormones creating balance, you can diet all. When you diet, you're using willpower,
Right.
right?
Hmm.
Willpower never lasts.
Right.
Willpower lasts while you're dieting. But then what
Right.
happens after that?
And you just cave.
Right. Just like you said, you work for a company and how many people, I mean, majority of the people who are going diets, they gain their weight back because
Yeah.
they haven't fixed the underlying root cause of why they're overweight to begin with,
Right.
which is the emotional component and the balance, creating balance in the body. Got to create balance in the body. There's so many women that are unbalanced and toxic and have inflammation. And when you have inflammation, your hormones are off. And when your hormones are off, you're going to have a terrible time losing weight. You're not
Yes.
going to lose 30 pounds in 3 months like you when you're toxic.
Right. And I'm not without my issues. I don't
Of
have a
course.
gallbladder.
Right.
So there was a strategy for that as well.
Yeah.
So, where a lot of women join for to get off diabetes meds, get off the insulin. I just came for weight loss, and then I didn't realize gallbladder played into that as well.
Yeah. Well, and
So,
that's one thing too. Thank you for bringing that up. We can talk real quick about this, and this is the last thing we'll say. But what I love about you especially is that you brought to the academy a different aspect. Like, we don't take just women have diabetes, although you were close to getting insulin resistance, which
yeah,
is a form of prediabetes.
right.
And that's what women don't understand, is that anytime they have a problem losing weight, and as they get older, your body just naturally becomes more inflamed, and you're kind of destined to get prediabetes as you get older if you don't understand these hacks and these tools that I teach.
Right.
you know, and that we really are thorough. I think that's the biggest thing. And so we have a camp coming up, right? And at this
Mhm.
camp, it's the ability for you know, these women to be able to come to camp, to spend, you know, the half a day with me and learn about like what you've been learning. If you
Mhm.
had some advice to give these women about why they should come to camp, what would you tell them?
I think that the thing that I would say, that I've heard other women that have been successful in the program say, uh, just do it. Just take it step by step. Don't rush it. I wanted to rush it. I was absolutely one of those that wanted to go to the next step. Um, but it's important to really review the material, really own it, really learn it, really know it, and take it in and make it and make it a part of your life, your
Mhm.
choices. And it makes all the difference. It really
Yeah,
makes.
your energy is better, right? I mean, your energy's better. You sleep better, you said.
Yes, that was a huge thing for me. I wasn't sleeping.
Yeah.
Um, and that did take a minute. It didn't happen right away.
Well, and you had acid reflux.
I had acid reflux at one point.
Yeah, we
Yeah,
didn't even talk about we you know, let's talk about what the symptoms you had. You had couldn't sleep,
couldn't
fatigue,
sleep. Hmm.
acid reflux,
I
couldn't
had
lose weight.
I couldn't lose weight. My nails were very brittle, very, very brittle. I actually had soreness in my legs that I'll be honest, I had it so long, I didn't even notice it anymore until
Yeah,
it wasn't there anymore.
right.
So once that was gone, that was great. And then my hair is actually thicker and fuller. I didn't wear it down. I should have worn it down, but it feels better. Everything feels better. I feel more attractive. I feel more feminine. Um, and just becoming better with my body and feeling better in my skin.
Yeah. And that's all because you worked on creating balance in the body and decreasing inflammation, you know,
Mhm.
fixing that, just everything that we do. Everything that we do is a strategy, right? It goes like you said, it's like we don't rush. We don't rush ahead. Most people, when they do diet plans, they're like, you know, they just jump to the diet right away and they don't understand the reasons for why they're doing certain things.
Mhm.
We're very strategic in that way because we want success for you guys,
Absolutely.
right?
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, we want success. I'm a woman. I know what
Mhm.
it's like to be frustrated with health and with the relationship with food. It's frustrating.
Right.
So I'm so proud of you, Christine. Like you've done so well and you're a busy mom.
Mhm.
You have a busy job. And so a lot of people will say too, well, I'm so busy, I don't know if I can do this. What would you say to that?
Yeah, I was definitely and then there's support with that as well, right? There are tips and tools that are shared. You just have to come to the meetings and discuss what you're struggling on. And there is a tool for that. There is a strategy for that. And not only it doesn't always come from just you, Terry, it comes from the group as well.
Right. Right.
So it's and that being a part of a group of women, going through the same thing at the same time is invaluable for a lot of reasons. And I know I wrote things down, but I also thought of another one, which is the accountability factor. You're coming in to see these women every week. Not just Terry, not just you, Terry. Uh, and if you're
Yeah.
a competitive person and you want to play that competitive card, that's great too. If you're not, I'm actually not a competitive person, but being accountable to show up because you want to see these women, you've become friends with them, you want to see how they're doing.
Yeah, I love that you brought that up. I love that's one of the keys, one of the foundations of why the academy is so powerful is because of the sisterhood. Is
Right.
because of the group, the squad that goes together and does the program together. You become friends and you guys can share the struggles and you learn from each other, just like you said. And that's one of the top 5 reasons why the academy is so successful. It's amazing. And you've done amazing and I'm proud of you and
You. And
girl.
there's one more thing I want to say though,
Yeah, go ahead.
and this is a practical thing
Yeah.
and not an emotional thing
Yeah.
that maybe is not said directly. So it's something that I want to say, to speak to those women out there that are thinking about doing the program and maybe think it's too expensive, right? I think this is extremely, extremely like jam-packed with the amount of information that you walk away with, you know. But if you look up the price of a nutritionist, a holistic nutritionist, to have individual consultations, I could not find where you could go to have a group consultation like you offer. You offer this material in a way that's affordable and practical, and it's easy and accessible to everyone. It is it's absolutely worth it, every cent.
Well, of course I feel that way, so thank you. But yeah, right. I mean, I want success for my clients. That's
Yeah.
that's my main concern. I
Right.
want to see my clients successful and thrive and get this figured out.
Right.
I want this to be the last program they'll ever do,
Yep.
because
I'm
I
here
want
for
to have
life.
taught. Yeah. Right. It's just like
Okay.
I wanted. Yeah, exactly. You know the tools. Now it's just a matter of applying tools, applying the strategies, and continuing to do them and continuing to grow and work. We're never done. We're always going to be students. I'm always a student, right?
Right.
As long as
Yeah.
we can commit to ourselves and be on this journey together, there's no stopping us. Good job, girl. Proud of you. Congratulations on all your success.
Thank you.